Welcome. If you are a team waiting for us to begin, then we're almost ready to get started. If you are joining us live on YouTube, then you are in the right place. So we're going to get started momentarily. We just have one person who's unable to join the meeting right now, so we're just making sure they get here so their team can compete with everyone else. We are going to share a video real quick with you, and then we will get moving as soon as we have all of our participants signed in. All right, we're going to start out with a quick video from one of our authors.
Hi there, my name is James Ponte. I am a middle grade fiction author. I've written these books here. That's the Dead City series, the Frame series, and the newest one is City Spies. We'll leave that one up kind of like that, show it off a little bit. Also a die-hard Boston Red Sox fan, hence the clothes today. 2 layers of Red Sox. And I'm sitting here in my office where I write these books, and I'm stuck in here, and I know a lot of you are probably staying inside, as you should, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about books, about the books that I've written and how I became a writer, and that sort of thing. Hopefully some of that's of interest to you. Give you a little layout. I've actually just moved. I just moved a little over a month ago, so this is a new office for me, but I really like it. It's got a lot of windows, which make it hard to tape, but because the light's all over the place, but it's a great place to be creative. Here's my computer that I've written all these books and others on. In fact, if you have a really good sideways angle view, you can see this is City Spies 2, the follow-up book to this, which I am supposed to finish up in 2 days and turn it in by editor. So hopefully she'll like it. Taking a little break from this, I hope she doesn't mind, to talk to you. So where do writers come from and how do writers come to be? I thought would be a good place to start. I was born in Italy, a town famous for its Leaning Tower. That's my dad and my brothers. And the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I was born in Pisa, Italy. And I moved to the United States when I was pretty young. My mom was a painter. And my mom loved, she was a great painter. Here's when that's her painting. She's from America, she's not Italian. And she loved Wild West stuff. She's painting cowboy. And that's me, the adorable baby, little guy, watching her there. And my mom was always into creative things, and she always encouraged us to be creative and to do creative things. So it was only natural maybe that I wanted to pursue the career that I pursued. This is me when I was maybe closer to your age. Well, a school picture there with a very kind of bad haircut. And right here is me. I was the worst Little League baseball player probably in the history of Atlantic Beach, Florida Little League. So I don't know if that's an honor, but I remember at the time wanting to be the center fielder for the Boston Red Sox that wasn't going to happen. And then at a very young age, I decided, you know what I really want to be as a writer. And I decided to be a writer. But that wasn't an easy decision for me because I was a terrible reader. I just was very slow. It bothered me a lot. There's like one book that I really loved as a kid. Let's see if I have it here the other day. Do I still have it here? It's a book called From the Mixed Up Files of Miss Basil Frank Weiler, and I have misplaced it. I meant to have it as a prop. But it's a great, great book. But other than that, I didn't read much growing up, so I thought I was going to be a TV writer. Um, so I went to college and I studied film and television writing, which was really fun. And then I had this great job in college. During college, I lived in Orlando, Florida, so I worked at Disney World, and I was Davy. First of all, I want to prove I used to have hair. I don't have much hair now, but that's me looking very moody in college with hair. And this is me also when I was in college. And this is me. I was Davy Crockett on the canoe ride at Disney World. So people would paddle around the canoe, and I actually, I stole this. You're not supposed to have it. Don't tell Disney World that I took it. But I'd have this coonskin cap, this silly, ridiculous coonskin cap. It had no top on the top, by the way, so it would bleach our hair blonde over the summer. And I would tell jokes in this coonskin cap. Now, what was great about that was I learned how to tell jokes. And then in college, I was learning how to write. And so I decided that I would write funny things for television. And I did. And for a long time, that's what I did. I worked at Nickelodeon. I worked at Disney Channel. I bounced around. I worked on a show called The Mickey Mouse Club. Here's a picture of the cast and crew of The Mickey Mouse Club. And it's famous because right up there, that's Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. Justin Timberlake is in here somewhere. And they were just 11, 12-year-old kids that worked with me every day. They were great, and we would write funny sketches about them and for them. And so I did TV writing. And once I was working at a show at Nickelodeon, long time before you were born, I'm sure. It was called From the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo. And it was a really fun show to work on, and they decided that they would have books tied to the show. And I got to write one of the books. Do I have a copy of that book here?
Okay, welcome back, guys. I'm going to stop sharing this video right now so we can start our battle.
All right, looks like we're ready. Hello and welcome to the 2021 St. Johns County School District Battle of the Books. We're excited to have each of you here to participate and extremely excited to have our teachers, classmates, families, friends, and community members joining us live online. Today promises to be a battle like no other. Returning 2020 champions, Palm Valley Academy and Landrum Middle School are vying for an unshared title this year. They dethroned Pacetti Bay Middle last year and shut out the winningest team of all time, Switzerland Point Middle School. Rumor has it, both our academies and middle school teams have been reading since this summer, buffing up their brain muscles and running through books like champion sprinter Usain Bolt, preparing for the most intense and competitive sporting event in the district. There's no doubt about it. If you want blood, sweat, and tears, suspense, intrigue, and an ending you didn't see coming, stick with us today. You're in for a treat. My name is Kim Dixon, and I serve as Director of Instructional Resources and Media Services, also known as ERMS, for the St. Johns County School District. I am joined today by an amazing team that has worked hard to bring you the inaugural virtual Battle of the Books. Please welcome the brains behind today's technology, the person who made it possible to have our competition online, Dr. Diane Lawson, our Applied Technology Specialist. Dr. Lawson, please say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Working hard to create, gather, and organize the battle quotes, all while supporting the efforts of our team of renowned media specialists, Mrs. Amelia Zakoski, Specialist for Instructional Media. Ms. Zakoski?
Hi, everyone.
An integral part of our support system in keeping accurate score today is Mrs. Amanda Bergamasco, our Curriculum Resource Specialist. Ms. B?
Hey, everybody.
And two folks who've been with us every step of the way, Mr. Marcus Brown, Instructional Materials Specialist, and Mrs. Erica Jackson, Executive Secretary, are supporting us behind the scenes, that is, off camera. I can't say enough about how hard our ERMS team works and how grateful I am that they are important St. Johns County School District employees and provide support to teachers and students and our staff. Before I turn this over to the specialists, I want to say how inspired I am by the student readers, media specialists, team sponsors, and caregivers. Your dedication to reading and commitment to your team is truly inspirational. Good luck to all of our teams today. Now, a message from our district leaders.
Hello, my name is Tim Forson, Superintendent of St. Johns County Schools, and I just want to congratulate all our students that are part of the Battle of the Books. What a great activity, a great learning experience for you. I have to go back to one of the first books that ever captured my attention is way back in school, a book called 1984 by George Orwell. And you know, I read it long before 1984, trying to read about the future. Little did I know that I would be seeing the world progress as it is today. So it's important that you read. I hope that each of you start to build a future for yourself and a path for learning through books. And I also want to wish all of you the best of luck on the Battle of the Books, and great job for doing an outstanding job here. Hello, my name is Tim.
Hello, my name is Patrick Canan. I'm chairman of the St. Johns County School District, and I want to congratulate each of you who are a participant in the Battle of the Books. I love reading. I'm glad you love reading. I can remember one of the first books I ever read as a teenager. It was called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and it was sort of an expose using the motorcycle as a metaphor about the difference between quality and quantity. So anyway, congratulations to you. Keep reading. Because in my opinion, readers rock.
Wow, 1984, that was the future. And Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Born to be Wild, Mr. Canan. That's pretty cool. Those were great books, I'm sure. Now, I'd like to just say thank you to Superintendent Forson and Mr. Canan for those inspiring words and sharing two of their first books. Most importantly, let's get ready to battle, battle, battle. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Zakoski to introduce our teams. Ms. Z?
Hello, all you fabulous Battle of the Books teams. Today we will have our middle school teams Battle of the Books from our following schools participate. Here they are, our sponsors. From Freedom Crossing, led by Miss Brown. Please introduce your team.
All right, go ahead.
F-A-O-T-O-N-S.
All right, we have Miss Luan.
Hi.
We have Brielle. We have Pranavi, Lily, Charlotte, Tegan, and Aditya. Yes, and I'm Miss Brown.
Awesome. From Landrum Middle School, led by Miss Gill. Please introduce your team.
Hey, everybody, this is our Landrum team. We have Ella, Jossie, Emlyn, Ryan, Rafe, Robert, Hadley, and Jackson.
From Valley Ridge, led by Miss Ayers Boys, we have...
Hey everybody, this is our team from Valley Ridge Academy. Starting over there, we've got Sam. Say hey Sam. Then we've got Lydia. Woohoo! We've got back in the back Emma. We've got Erin. Yay! We've got Lily. And we've got Madison, our Valley Ridge readers.
Awesome. From Passetti Bay, we led by Miss Goins.
Good morning, everyone. We have kind of an awkward setup here, but we will try to get everyone in the picture. We have our team captain, Parmees. We have James. Raise your hand or wave when you Colin. and Matthew, Bo, Joshua, Isabella, and we have Hannah and Braylon in the back. They're alternates. Go Wildcats.
Yeah, wonderful. From Gamble Rogers, led by Mr. Greco.
There we go. Hello, everybody. We have our team captain. If I'm doing this right, there's Maddie, our team captain. Jesse, can you see Jesse? Stand up. Okay, then we have Diego. Are we seeing Diego? Stand up. Diego, Declan. Okay, Max. Gabby. Tresley. And our alternates, Riley and Kanan. Go Stingrays!
From Murray Middle School, led by Miss Stinson.
Hi, our team is Lily, Zoe, Sophia, Brooke, Giovanna, Emmett, and Emily.
From Palm Valley, Miss Fry.
All right, good morning, guys. All right, so we have our team captain, Allie. We have Elizabeth. I don't think we can see you. We have Audrey and Shannon and Marissa and Logan and a very excited Aiden. And our alternate, Jack, is right over here as well.
From Sebastian Middle School. From Sebastian Middle School, led by Ms. Barnard.
Hi guys, this is our team. We have Brooklyn, Sophia, Tracy, Team Captain Gregory, Taylor, Glamorous, Hannah, and our alternates, Emily and Andy.
Woo! From Switzerland Point Middle School, led by Ms. Badger.
Hi, everyone. We have our team here. We have Pranav, Emily, Josephina, Daniel, and Victoria. Go Raiders!
From Patriot Oaks Academy, led by Mrs. Hudson.
Good morning from Patriot Oaks. We have Angie, Cheyenne, Brittany, Anwita, Audrey. Go Chargers!
And from Liberty Pines Academy, led by Mrs. Rogers.
Touch screen. This is our fabulous team from LPA. We start with our captain, Kaden, Bill, Sashi, Cole, Nathan, Winston, and Cam. Go! Whoa!
These teams look great. Today we want to remind you of our Battle of the Books rules. Please remember to socially distance and stay safe. Each team has 7 members participating in today's competition. Alternates may watch but may not participate. Please utilize your timekeeper to keep track of time during the rounds. The quotes will be read by your team sponsor. Teams will discuss and select an answer. The answer will be entered by the adult in Socrative. All of the book titles are an answer option in Socrative. Should you have a challenge, your team scribe will record the number of the quote being challenged. All challenges will be reviewed at the end of the round in the main room. Any questions not answered before time expires will be marked incorrect and may not be challenged or answered after time is called. Scores will be tallied at the end of each round. Please be reminded that this year's competition is different. And you will not have a 30-second countdown timer that you will have seen in years past. This is why we have asked for you to have a timekeeper to ensure that you can keep track of time. At the end of the third round, we will announce the winner of the district battle of the books unless there is a tie. In that case, we will enter our single bonus round for this year's to find out this year's winner. Dr. Lawson?
Hello and welcome. Remember, as Ms. Zukowski just said, this year our battle looks a little different than previous years. And momentarily, we will put you into each team into their own private breakout room. If you are joining your team remotely, you will be in the same breakout room as your team. Once we send everyone to the breakout rooms, your media specialist or sponsor will share their screen to show Socrative so that everyone can see the quotes. You will have a total of 15 minutes for each round, and teams will automatically be recalled to the main room at the end of each round. This 15 minutes gives a little more than 30 seconds per quote. You may exit your breakout room and return to the main room before time is called if your team finishes before the allotted time. When everyone is successfully in their breakout room, we will begin the competition. When we start the round, you will be asked to enter your team name. Your team name will be your school initials. This must be the same for each round of the battle. Please enter your school initials in all capital letters and then click Done. Once you do that, your first quote will appear. Remember, you have 15 minutes to give an answer for all quotes. Okay, I'm sending you to the breakout rooms now. Don't forget to click Join Breakout Room.
While our teams are in the breakout rooms, you'll be able to see their progress on the Socrative screen with some bicycle icons. As they answer questions, the bicycles will begin to move. We're going to give them a minute to get set up. Please know that the colors do not represent any specific team. As they get started, let's make sure that we can see how they're going and progressing. So we're going to give it a little bit of time to get them going and moving. Up. Oh, wow. Woo, they've already started. How exciting. Oh my goodness, look at them go. Please also notice that the bicycles, as I said before, do not represent teams, so keep that in mind. The mystery is thick. Woohoo. Oh my. While we also do that, we also want to take some time to get to know some of our authors for some of our exciting books. So let's get to know and meet some of these great authors. The first one we're going to get to meet is Jerry Craft, the author of New Kid. Let's see what inspired him to write his book.
My name is Jerry Craft, and I'm an author and illustrator. From as far as I can remember, my dad used to tell me stories, like bedtime stories, and then he used to make me make them up. And then as I got older, realized how much I love to draw. Then I used to start to draw and make my own little stories, and I got into comics. So it's literally been an entire life's journey. So most of my inspiration comes from living life. When I did my Mama's Boys comic strip, it represented two sides of my personality. Tyrell was, when I was younger, I was more shy, and Yusuf, as I got older, I became more outgoing. The biggest book, my new one, New Kid, is semi-autobiographical of me growing up in Washington Heights, wanting to be an artist, and my parents, they thought that I would not be able to make a living doing it, so they sent me to the Fieldston School in Riverdale. So I basically took that and made a graphic novel out of it. New Kid, it is so much of me, and a lot about my sons also, because they also went to private school. So we all related to being one of the few kids of color
in a predominantly white private school. I didn't grow up with like a favorite author or a favorite book. And I think partially was because I didn't see kids of color that represented me and my friends. I hear kids now come up to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Graff, I hate to read, but I read your book in 2 days." And it was the first time I ever did that. And I didn't have that. Growing up in the 70s, that was back before Black Panther was really cool, and Black Lightning was really cool. And a lot of them were sidekicks, and they had very menial positions. So I didn't really see anything that I looked at and like, I want to be that guy. I try to make books where kids go, I want to be that guy, or I know that guy, or I know someone like that guy. I just was not willing to change what I wanted to do in order to be published. What I want to do is add to the narrative of the important books that are out there, but have something that makes a statement, but also is something that they can laugh. There's nothing really bad that's going to happen. I don't remember meeting any authors as a kid. I like for kids to see me as a African American man and saying, wow, he's an author, and also to relate to my characters. My goal was to create kind of an iconic character that is relatable so that African American kids are like, yes, this is ours. And other kids are like, wow, he's cool. I want a part of that too. I think I can really say this is what I want to do. This is a Jerry Craft book. If you're getting a Jerry Craft book, there's going to be some excitement, there's going to be some humor, there's going to be some lessons in there, but it will be a good read that when you finish, you're like, wow, I love these guys, I want to read it again.
That was inspiring. Wow, let's check in with our progress of our teams. Look at them go on that leaderboard. They have made some great progress. They are really moving, pedaling right along. Oh, wow. It looks like we still have 10 minutes left. That blue bicycle is really indigo, as it's called, is really pedaling. One of our teams is already back from the breakout rooms. Let's take a quick little message from one of our titles, Inkling, to see what it has to say.
Ms. Zukoski, wow, I heard you talking about indigo, but it looks like magenta and red are hot on their trail. What do you think's going on in their team?
Wow, look at them roll. Oh my goodness, did you see silver? Woo, it just pedaled.
Yeah, they took off, right? There's still about 8.5 minutes left in this round. And so these teams are really chasing each other down on these bicycles. They are pedaling hard. That means their brains are hard at work and they are discussing the books and the quotes. How hard do you think this year's titles are?
I don't know. They're pretty tricky. I can tell you when I was really looking at those quotes that they were working on and reading those books myself, I was having some tough times, They've really got to be close and they've made sure that they've got to know the content in those materials and that literature, get to know the characters and read the text and understand the setting. It's a real sport. It's truly competitive.
Absolutely. I know as we were going over the quotes and I was thinking about some of the excitement from some of the books, some of those quotes really spoke to me. Right away, it jumped out and I just knew that quote was from that title. So those times were pretty easy. And then there were other times where those quotes could have been from maybe 2 or 3 of those books. So, it'll be good to hear from the teams when they get back how they felt about this round.
Hey guys, I'm watching the YouTube, the live stream right now, and it is crazy. We have almost 100 people watching this competition live in front of everybody. And I'm watching the chat. We have a lot of people really rooting on some teams and some friends in class, and it's exciting. So if you're rooting for a team and you're in the live feed, go ahead and put that in the chat so everyone can see it. And it's just so exciting. I don't even know what to say.
That is pretty
It is
exciting to be able to watch it live. I think that's the most spectators we've ever had at one battle. So to think that we have 100 people that are able to join us because we're doing this virtually, it makes my heart sing. What about you, Dr. Lawson? You're in charge of this technology. You're responsible for all of this. How are you feeling about today's battle?
I am feeling fantastic. That is so exciting to hear. We have so many spectators joining us on our live stream on YouTube. That is fantastic. And watching these teams progress in our Socrative battle is so exciting. I see Silver has Silver has tied with Indigo right now. I wonder if they'll soar past them, or maybe Magenta, Lime. There's look at that. Third place is a tie for 5 different teams. This
I
is
know.
truly exciting.
Absolutely. This looks like anybody's game. I mean, when we were first looking at the screen, it looked like Indigo had really pulled away and they were going to take it all. But as you can see, it's anybody's game, and there's still just under 6 minutes left. And folks are really pedaling hard right now. So they are busy, busy, busy. Don't count any of our teams out. So, Ms. Sikowski, just a quick question. You mentioned the colors don't really correspond to any team. So if we are watching the same graphic in the next round and we notice that Indigo is in the lead, will Indigo belong to the same team in round 2?
No, not necessarily. It'll be a different team. So, don't get your heart set on that Indigo bicycle being that same team. Sorry to say, this could be a totally different team. Unfortunately, Socrative doesn't play that way. So you got to just, roll with the punches, be flexible, but know that, hey, at the end of the day, you could root for somebody and have a great time. It's super exciting. I mean, I can just tell you right now that this is the most competitive event out there. I am so excited right now because you never know. You're on the edge of your seat. We have no idea what's going to happen. We won't know until we share that leaderboard at the end of this round. And there's only 4 minutes left to go. Look at the countdown. I mean, literally, and Teal is just pulling ahead. Oh my God, Orange, where are they coming from? You still have no idea where this is going. Like, it's just out there. Oh,
absolutely. Boy, your excitement is contagious, Ms. Sikowski. I really like the fact that you said just root for a team, root for anyone, because all of our readers are winners, correct? If they are reading, they are winning. And it looks like there were some really, really great titles this year. Do we have a list of those titles? Do we know the names of all of the books that were on the SSYRA list this year for our middle schoolers?
Yes, we do. Yes, we absolutely do. We have a large list of books, and I will get that list ready for us to look at, and we will have it up to share with you. And I'm going to pull it up, and it'll be exciting. And I'm going to do that for you guys right now.
Okay, while she's pulling that list up, let's talk about a couple of the titles. I will tell you that New Kid really spoke to me. I remember when I was in middle school, I actually went to a brand new school. I left all of my friends behind, and that was one of my favorite books because it was relatable. And we know that when students are able to see themselves in books, that they really enjoy reading them a lot more and are more likely to pick up another book that they can see themselves in and continue reading. Yep. What about you, Miss B? Any books speak to you this year?
I have to say, I really loved Inkling. It was great. And it's funny, I know they always say don't judge a book by its cover, but I loved the cover of that book. I picked it up and I loved it. I can't wait to find out what all the kids think are their favorite books this year.
And what about you, Dr. Lawson? Was there any title that spoke to you? Was there something techie in there for the technology person?
You know, Miss Dixon, it is really hard for me to pick a favorite. They were all so, so good, and I couldn't put any of them down. So I don't know that I could pick a favorite. I'm going to have to think on that. You ask me again on the next round, and I will try and come up with a favorite.
Absolutely. That's the hard thing about great books that you sometimes it's really hard, especially when they're all good. I know that our Florida Association for Media and Education group actually selects these titles. So their members are busy reading books as we speak and trying to find new titles for the upcoming year. But they were very busy reading all of these books so that they could make this list for our readers. So we know that every single title that appears on the SSYRA book is a great title because it's been vetted by media specialists from all over Florida. Right?
One room left.
Ms. Zukoski, do you have a list of those titles to share with
yeah,
our folks
I sure
at home?
do. Yeah. Let me get my screen share. So here is our list of titles that we have from our 2021. I've got to scroll down it. So we've got Charlie Hernandez and the League of Shadows. Marcus Vega doesn't speak Spanish, is one of my favorites. New Kid, which we saw before. Spark. The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. Scouts. Game Changer. Lifeboat. Song for a Whale. Deep Water. Float. Inkling. City Spies. We're Not From Here. And The Bridge Home. I just heard that we have 1 minute left, so I think, oh no, seconds now. Oh my God, 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, this is like the countdown clock for New Year's Eve almost for me. I can't even handle it. $15 seconds, 13 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
2, 1.
Oh boy, time's up. So all of our teams should be returning if they haven't already. Dr. Lawson, can you check and make sure that everyone is back in the main room before we keep going?
I will do that. I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen so I can look at those breakout rooms, but I will get that. Everyone is back into the main room now.
Well, welcome back, teams. Welcome back to the main room. Before we go any further, I would like to ask, are there any challenges? Are there any challenges to any of the quotes? If so, if you will please give us a raised hand and we will call on you to communicate that challenge.
We got some good results. I have the results whenever you're ready.
Okay, there are no challenges, and so I think it's time for us to reveal our scores. But before we do that, I do want to give our sponsors a chance to tell us how you felt about that round. Was it a nail biter? Was it super easy? How'd you feel? Please select a reaction to describe how your team is feeling after round 1. Have some thumbs up. All right, sounds like some teams. Oh, I don't know if Miss Fry's team, I don't know if that's a laugh or a cry. It's a laugh cry, so I hope that's happy, happy, happy. I've got lots of Miss Bernard, same way. Oh, Miss Brown's team absolutely loved it. Absolutely. And so we've got some great reactions here. Oh, some people were surprised, maybe. We have some surprised looks. All righty. Well, you know what? I think that means it's time for us to reveal the scores after round 1. Dr. Lawson, Miss Bergamasco?
Okay, you should be able to see the results from round 1. We have a 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have 2 teams in the lead here. POA and Switzerland Point are tied at 14. And then our second place, we have Valley Ridge, PVA, Passetti Bay, and we've got 2 more. LMS and FCA. Guys, we are off to a great start.
Absolutely. I am sure these scores are the result of hard work and practice, great sponsors and media specialists, teachers, and caretakers. And of course, those inspirational words from our superintendent, Mr. Forson, and board chair, Mr. Kanan. So, to ensure our teams are continuously inspired for round 2, let's hear more inspiring words from our District 1 School Board Representative, Ms. Bev Slough, and our amazing Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Mrs. Dawn Sapp. Dr. Lawson, will you share those inspirational videos?
Hi, I'm Beth Slough. I'm the District 1 representative to the St. Johns County School Board. I want to congratulate each and every one of the team members for Battle of the Books today. Your extremely hard work in reading all these books with such close attention is an amazement to me. Each year when I look at the questions, I'm so surprised that you're able to answer them just from having read those books. I wish you every success today as you compete. To become the champions for Battle of the Books.
Hello students, families, and teachers. It's time to battle. The belly butterflies may have found a few of you, but I'm sure they will settle once we get underway. Congratulations to all of our voracious readers who are representing their school for this year's Battle of the Books. I recall starting my first ever hardcover chapter book. It was Black Beauty, and I was in 3rd grade. It seemed I would be reading forever. I remember struggling with the first few chapters, but once the characters came to life, I flew through the pages. Finishing and closing the book, I was both sad to see it end, but happy to finish. Reading continues to take me on incredible journeys, as I'm sure it does for all of you. Enjoy today. You've already enjoyed the best gift of the stories themselves. This is just the cherry on top.
Wow, readers are leaders. Thank you for sharing your reading experiences, Mrs. Slough and Mrs. Sapp. Black Beauty was also one of my favorites, and I even taught it to my 3rd graders when I was in the classroom. Now, on to round 2. Take it away, Dr. Lawson.
Okay, everyone. We will now begin round 2. Just like the first round, you will once again go into the breakout rooms and we will begin the competition. When we start the round, you will be asked to enter your name. Your name will be your school initials in all capitals, and you will have 15 minutes to answer all of the quotes. I am sending you to the breakout rooms now. And then I will start the battle and you will see the spot to enter your name again.
While they're in the breakout room, let's get to know another author. The author from We're Not From Here, Jeffrey Rodkey. He's a great inspiration for the Sunshine State Readers Awards. His book is what makes young readers want to read.
What a beautiful cover. We're not from here. That looks sort of alien-like. I'm not sure if those are aliens or insects. Flies, maybe, Miss B?
Maybe flies. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
like the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's the bicycles again. So while we get that video queued up, look at those bicycles go, even as we start the 14 minutes. Oh, there they are. Look at those bicycles. I love watching them move. And that Indigo bicycle, even though it's probably not that same team, I mean, holy cow, it really does get moving. It just trucks right along, pedal, pedal to the metal. I mean,
it does. It really does, Miss D. It's moving, moving, moving. But like you said, we can't know if that indigo is the same indigo from round one, correct? This could be a totally different team with that color now.
No, but look at magenta. Magenta and silver. They are moving right along. With 13 minutes, you never know. I'm on the edge of my seat. My leg is just, I don't even know what, keep it still. Can't. I'm just too excited for this whole entire round.
I know. I'm properly socially distanced from you, but I can see your leg moving from all the way across the room. You are moving, moving, moving. The excitement is contagious. Absolutely.
I know we have the players coming up, but this is way better than that. This is too much for me to handle.
Yeah, I think this may be way better than the players. I would agree.
This
Absolutely.
is the true championship of readers.
All right, looks like we've got that video queued up. So let's turn it back over to Dr. Lawson.
Hi, my name is Jeff Rodkey, and I'm the author of We're Not From Here, a story about a kid named Lan who has to immigrate to an alien planet after Earth has been destroyed, only to discover once they get to this new planet that the aliens who invited Lan's family have changed their minds and no longer want to open their society to a species that just wrecked its own planet. I wrote this story because I wanted to give readers a sense of what it might feel like to come to a strange new place as a refugee and then get blamed by your new neighbors, not for anything you did yourself, but for things other people did, sometimes the exact same things that forced you to leave your home in the first place. Like blowing up your own planet. Lan didn't blow up Earth, some other humans did that. But when Lan gets to planet Chum and starts going to alien middle school, the alien kids don't see it that way. This book touches on some very serious subjects like scapegoating, propaganda, the treatment of minorities. But oddly enough, it's funny too, because when Lan arrives on planet Chum and has to figure out what is it about humans that makes us worth having around, what can help me win over these aliens, one of the answers they come up with is humor. And Lan's got a pretty great sense of humor, so they use it a lot. One last thing I want to mention, as you read the book, you might notice there are some things Lan doesn't tell you about themselves. They never say where on Earth they've come from. They never bother to mention whether they're tall or short or big or small or anything else about how they look. And they never even say whether they're a girl, a boy, or non-binary. Now, in most stories, this would be impossible because the unfortunate truth is that here on Earth, those things have a big impact on the way people treat you. But on an alien planet, when you're the only human in a school full of alien kids, it doesn't matter at all what kind of human you are. The only thing that matters is that you're human. So as you read the story, feel free to imagine whatever version of Lan works best for you. Any version of Lan that's right for you is the right one for the story. And if you read a few chapters and you don't like the book, stop reading and pick up a different book, because not every book is for every reader. There are a lot more good books in the world than there is time to read them, and life is way too short to keep reading a book you don't like. Unless your teacher assigned it to you, in which case you are totally out of luck and you absolutely have to finish it. Have a great day.
Oh, back on the bicycles. Indigo's not so lucky this time, Miss D. Looks like red is out there in front and making it happen. They are busy competing.
They really are. And with 10 minutes left to go, it's still anybody's game. I mean, Silver just pulled right ahead, pedaled a little bit faster, knew some of those quotes a little bit faster than that Indigo.
And we all remember the story of the tortoise and the hare. Whoa. Let's not forget about Peach and Orange.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I can't let them sit back there. Look at them going. I mean, the violet
and green.
But look at magenta, lime, and blue. I just can't help but think they might come up ahead too. They are really pedaling really fast.
I love that Miss B just brought in another book to talk about a book competition, right? The Tortoise and the Hare, one of the greatest fables of all time. And she just pulled that right out of thin air and made it apply right here to our teams and this book competition. I tell you, books are everywhere. They're a part of all of our lives all the time. And that really excites me because I love books. Books are actually my favorite things.
Well, a story will take you anywhere. And it seems like the stories have taken these kids in so many different places because they are sailing right along. There's 9 minutes to go, and some of these bicycles are just pedaling right to the end, sailing right through this round really fast. I mean, look at those bikes. I mean, we've got red and silver and violet almost to the end and blue. They're just pedaling their little hearts out, getting those questions done and answered in record pacing time.
Yeah, absolutely. I see there's a little bit over 8 minutes. So speaking of sailing right along or cycling right along, were there any stories this year about physical activity? Ms. D, were there any of our titles that really kind of dealt with the outside or things that kids could do to get moving? Because we know that we've been inside a lot this year. Maybe there was an inspirational title that said, get out there and get your body moving. Anything?
Well, there is Game Changer, which is about the football season.
Oh.
So that is one of the books. And then there are a couple of books about water, deep water, a little mystery with some Lifeboat 12, some pretty cool information there. I did like Scouts. That was an awesome book. And then we have our other book, Float, which kind of reminded me of, kind of a Disney short Float. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. I don't know if I could say that, but that was pretty cool. And
yeah,
then
that was pretty cool. I'm just checking out all of these references to water, like books about water, books about floating. Floating makes me think of water. So that that analogy about sailing is quite appropriate. So good job. You guys are knocking it out of the park with all of these connections that we can make to our reading. That's pretty awesome.
We do have another little short clip that we could watch from one of our other great authors. If we'd like to take a moment to watch Song for a Whale's author to get her inspiration why she wrote her book. It's actually really cool.
Hi, my name is Lynn Kelly, author of Song for a Whale. This is a story of a girl named Iris who lives life fully, even though some think that her deafness might slow her down. In her science class at school, she learns about Blue 55, the loneliest whale in the world. Being a tech whiz herself, Iris has a mission: use her skills to find a way to communicate with this lonely whale. Like so many deaf people I've worked with as a sign language interpreter, Iris is surrounded by those who don't speak her language. Though that isolation is frustrating, this smart and resourceful girl navigates through the world around her to reach out to someone who needs a friend.
That was really inspirational. And to hear that she wrote the story about working as an interpreter for sign language really, I thought was really meaningful. I think it's great to see a perspective on how an author writes a book and then takes it and puts it into their own life and then makes kids interested in it. You never know what's going to happen when you meet an author. Wow, 5 minutes left. We've got some of our kids coming back into the breakout from the breakout rooms. It looks like our bicycles did awesome. Look at them all coming back now.
They are. Why don't we have our kiddos from Miss Hudson's? I see them sitting there waiting patiently. They're already back in the room. Guys, Miss Hudson, can you unmute and tell us how you guys are feeling about this? Are you guys watching the screen and watching the competition? How's your team feeling?
We're feeling awesome. Good.
All right, fantastic, guys. So what was your favorite book this year?
Coyote Sunrise. Well, we all have different favorites, but I can't really say. Mine's Coyote Sunrise and Rich Home. I like Clark City Spies and Crazy.
I like Treasure Hernandez.
Ah, so lots of variety there. What about Miss Fry? What about you guys? You guys have a favorite this year that you can all agree on, or does everyone have a different favorite book this year? Miss Fry, can you unmute?
Aiden,
Or
your
team
team
captain.
captain.
Oh,
Go ahead.
oh,
Do you have a favorite?
Either Charlie Hernandez or Sparks. What? Yeah. Hands down, Coyote Sunrise. Yeah. And float. And float. Hands down. Float. Float.
A lot of opinions here.
Yeah, lots of opinions. And you know what's exciting is their excitement. So that's pretty awesome. What about your group, Miss Gill? You guys have a favorite one this year? Landrum, are you guys there? Can you hear me? You'll have to unmute. Let us know what your favorite is.
The general consensus says City Spies. Majority says City Spies.
Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So we're all over the place. Looks like there were lots and lots of great titles. I think we still have some teams in there. Miss Stinson, any consensus on the favorite from this year? What was the best book?
We have quite a few. We have several City Spies, a couple of Coyote Sunrise, Marcus Vega. We have a good mixture.
And I'm the only one who thinks Song for a Whale was the best one, but it was the best one.
Oh, wow. I hear that one. The whale one. Yeah. Oh, okay. All righty. Well, that's exciting. We'll see what happens there. What about you, Valley Ridge? Our Valley Ridge team, guys. What did you all think? What was your favorite this year?
We had several favorites, but top of the line was probably Coyote, City Spies, and Float. And they also liked the Bridge Home, but it came in second.
Ah.
All right.
Yep. Yep. All right. We'll get some more opinions when we come back, maybe after the next round. But right now, I think everyone's back. So since we're all back, I do need to ask, are there any challenges? Do we have any challenges? If so, please raise your hand. Give us a reaction so that we can call on you if there are any challenges. Okay. No challenges? Well, let's do this to make sure that those reactions are working. Sponsors, can you give us a reaction to how your team is feeling after round 2? Okay, can you give us, oh, I have some thumbs up. Oh, Miss Badger's group is having a party. Yes, they are really enjoying themselves. They're feeling great, great, great. Awesome, we have some thumbs up. We are going to pause here just for a little bit because we do have some technical difficulties with one of our teams. Just after they came back to the room, they lost their internet connection and we are getting them back online. So while we're doing that, let's keep going. Miss Goins, what about your group? What was their favorite title this year?
Overall, our favorite was Coyote Sunrise. Yeah.
I keep hearing Coyote Sunrise. That was a pretty awesome book. I wonder why students are choosing that book. Is it because they see themselves in it? Is it because of the plot? Do they just love that author and the way they write? Give us some insight into why that book is so popular this year. Who'd like to share that? Go ahead and unmute and tell us why Coyote spoke to people. Ms. Goins, looks like your guys are busy telling us why. What was it about Coyote that really spoke to our kids this year?
All characters come out with a new personality by the end.
It sounds like they like the description of the description of the characters and answering questions that we all think about.
Yeah, the characters all come out with a slightly different personality in the end.
So that character development was really important for you. You saw them grow or change over time. So by the end of the book?
The dad became more open to his past. The boy going to Michigan, he got stopped and I mean, the main characters learn to have to make friends even if you're only gonna have them for a short while.
Good thing.
Oh, how exciting. I'm glad to hear that. You guys are really deep thinkers, which is why you're in a brain bowl, right? And you're using that organ for the greater good. Absolutely. So you're not just reading, but you are also thinking, and you are seeing how humans have the capacity to change, and you're enjoying that through that character development in that story. That's fantastic. Mr. Greco, what about you? Tell us, what was the favorite for your team? What did they love? And can they tell us why? You have to unmute.
Come on. It's a split between Spark and Coyote Sunrise.
There's that Coyote again. So tell us, we heard a lot about Coyote Sunrise already. Tell us about Spark.
So you guys tell us what you like about Spark. Come on up. Come on up.
Go. I like the mythical creatures. Like I love fantasy. I just love fantasy.
They love fantasy.
Oh, so the genre really spoke to them. So that fantasy genre was really exciting, and they like that. So I like to say that fantasy is escapism, right? It allows us to enter a magical world where anything is possible. Mr. Greco, do you have any other fantastical books that the kids might like, since they liked Spark, even if they weren't on the SSYRA list this year?
If you like Spark, one book.
If you like Spark, which one are you saying you'd like?
This one wasn't on this year, but it was one
It
I
doesn't
read.
have to be. Which one?
Oh,
Adventurers Guild?
yeah.
They remembered one from last year, Adventurers Guild, which was kind of like Spark. So,
yes.
and that has a second book as well.
Oh, wow. So
or
it's
three. Actually, might have three. It's a
series.
trilogy, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
But Adventurers Guild was on the list last year, and it is a fantasy book too. So some of our folks like that.
Yes, fantastic. That's great. That's great.
Hey, Miss Dixon, are you ready for the results from this round?
Oh, we are. Did we get our team back up and running so we're all good to go? All right, fantastic. We're going to come back and talk to some of our other teams after the next round, but it looks like it's time.
Well, we're going to show the results from this round, and then we're going to tally the results from both rounds, and then we'll show those, and then we'll get back to round 3.
All right, well, take it away, Dr. Lawson. It's your show.
Okay, on your screen, you should be able to see the results from this round. We have 2 teams that got, oh, nope, I apologize. We have 3 teams that got 15 out of 15. LMS, POA, and SPMS all got 15 points. Look at this. You guys are doing amazing. I am so impressed with you and your knowledge of these books. All right, I'm going to send it back to Miss Dixon and Miss Zukowski so I can go tally these scores from round 1 and 2, and we'll get those results out in just a minute.
All right, fantastic, guys. I bet you're probably all doing mental math right now and tallying up your own score so you'll know where you are. But remember, like we say every year, it's anybody's game, even after round 2. So no matter where you are or how many points you have, you are still in it to win it. And we know that you too can win this competition. But even if you are not crowned champions this year, you are all winners, because readers are always winners. Miss Badger, I don't know that we heard from you. Tell us about Swiss Point Middle School and their favorite book this year.
We have a couple of favorites, but it seems like our biggest favorite is City Spies.
Oh, well, that's interesting. City Spies. So that one was on the list of a couple of schools, but Coyote, it wasn't Coyote, huh? Tell us about City Spies and why your team loved that book.
So Emily said because it's action, thriller, and mystery all in one. And we're super excited because I don't know if everyone out there knows, but the second City Spies book came out today.
Oh, wow. How exciting. I just got chills. Yes, that's pretty cool. Awesome. What a great time to celebrate. So now that you've read the first one, you don't have to wait any longer. You can read the second one. That's pretty excited. That's cool.
We also may be a little bit biased towards James Ponte because we've done some visits with him and have him coming to visit our school in May. So that could bias us a little bit towards City Spies being our favorite book.
Ms. Badger, did you just say that one of the SSYRA authors will be visiting your school this year?
Yes, ma'am. We have one come every single year, and this year it is James Ponte.
Oh, wow. How exciting. What a treat for the kids. They actually get to meet the person who wrote one of their favorite books. That's pretty exciting. It's
Yes,
like
they're
meeting, I don't
excited.
know, LeBron James or Tom Brady. It's actually the same. Congratulations. I'm so glad to hear that.
And
Maybe, just maybe, you'll let one of us visit and we can meet him too.
I would love that. And maybe we can arrange for him to come to some other schools. We're kind of waiting to work out the details. I've been able to do that in the past. Last year we had Eric Walters come, who was a Sunshine State author last year. And he visited several of the St. Johns County schools. Raise your hand out there if Eric Walters came to your school last year. You guys remember?
Oh, wow. Quite a few. Thank you. And thanks so much, Ms. Badger, for working with our authors and helping bring those great authors and great books to all of the schools in St. Johns County. We really appreciate you.
And I would suggest Coop Knows the Scoop to anyone who likes City Spies. Read Coop Knows the Scoop. It's a great one.
Oh, so if you like this, you'll love this one? Awesome.
Coop Knows the Scoop by Taryn Suiters.
Okay, different author, but another great book. Well, thank you. We're going to get to a couple of our other teams later, but right now I think it's time to look at the leaderboard. I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Lawson. Dr. Lawson?
All right, everyone. I have the totals for the first 2 rounds. Let me share my screen and you can see where we are on the leaderboard. Okay, you can see we have some great results right now. We have 2 teams tied for first right now. We have Patriot Oaks at 29 and Swiss Point at 29. Excellent job, guys. We've got some close people behind you. We have Landrum at 28, and then we have some teams, 3 teams at 27. Keep up the great work, you guys, and we are going to get started on round 3.
No, let's go ahead and turn it over. It's time for round 3. I just do want to say that Swiss Point is really bringing their A game. They really want to win it this year, and Landrum also. So good luck to all of our teams. Remember, it's anybody's game. Those scores are super close. Let's go.
All right, guys. We are ready to start round 3. You'll go into the breakout room just like the previous 2 rounds. And remember that when you start the round, you're going to enter your team name, which is your school initials in all capitals, and you'll have 15 minutes to answer all 15 quotes. I am sending you to the breakout rooms now.
The authors that are on the SSRYA list are often award winners for other states. This year, one of our authors, the author of Charlie Hernandez and the League of Shadows, was the recipient of the Texas Blue Bonnet Award, along with being selected as a Florida Sunshine State Young Reader Award. He's given many interviews, but his interview with the Texas Blue Bonnet was awesome. So let's take a minute to hear what he had to say and answer some questions for young readers in Texas. Every person is going to enjoy this, I know, because I enjoyed it. Here he is.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kaleo, and I'm the author of Charlie Hernandez and the League of Shadows, which I was so excited to hear was a Blue Bonnet selection for this year. I just want to say a big thank you to the Texas Librarian Association for nominating my book. So thank you. It's a tremendous honor. And now I'm going to answer a few of your questions. So question number 1, how much of this book is autobiographical? Do you have friends like Violet? Okay, so I'm going to be honest. A lot of this book is autobiographical. I'm bilingual just like Charlie. Growing up, my abuelas taught me all the same myths and legends that Charlie's abuela taught him. We have the same favorite food. And almost every place Charlie and Violet visit in the book are places that I love to hang out at or ride my bike near when I was their age. And yeah, in case some of you are wondering, I did sprout feathers once in the middle class. Okay, so maybe I didn't sprout them, but I glued them on my arm during arts and craft, which is basically the same thing, right? And to answer the second part of the question, do you have friends like Violet? I would say I have a few friends like Violet, though one in particular, her name's not Violet, but she's really smart and resourceful, like Violet is in the book, so yeah, they're pretty similar. Question number 2. What is your favorite mythical creature and why? Well, that's a really good question, and a tough one, because there's so many awesome myths and legends. But I guess if I had to pick just one, I would say Cadejo, which is a sort of guardian angel that takes the form of a huge white dog. And the reason I would say that is because when I was little, my neighbors had this huge white shepherd that would follow me around the neighborhood when I rode my bike, and like it was protecting me. And my abuelas pretty much convinced me that that dog was a Cadejo, which was fun. And plus, I'm a huge animal lover, so I would definitely have to go with Cadejo. Question number 3. Can you tell us a little about your abuelas and how they inspired the story? Well, first of all, I'm so thankful for my abuelas. They were always a huge part of my life growing up, which is why in the book I wanted to make Charlie's abuela a huge part of his. And well, both of my abuelas were born outside the U.S. They immigrated here in the 1960s, and they were both amazing storytellers. It was all the wonderful myths and legends they told me and my brother and all my little cousins growing up that actually made me fall in love with stories and reading and just the fantastical in general. Of course, if they didn't teach me those legends and myths, I would have anything to put in my book. But not only that, well, the thing is that as I got older, I learned how important it was to preserve one's culture, and I realized that that's exactly what my abuela had done for me by passing those stories down that had been around for hundreds of years. And so I was inspired to kind of try and do the same thing to keep these stories relevant and almost fresh for the next generation, just like my abuelas kind of passed them down to me. Question number 4. What can you tell us about the sequel? Well, the sequel's out now, so I don't want to say too much and spoil it for anyone who might be reading it. But what I can say is there's a whole slew of new mythical creatures and beings in it. And Charlie and Violet are going to be running around all over Central and South America. So they're going to get to experience and get a little taste of the cultures and places that inspired some of these amazing myths and legends as they try to solve a very interesting, very twisty mystery. And there's a ton of action adventure in the book, and of course a lot of laughs, so I hope all of you enjoy it. Question number 5. What advice would you give young authors and illustrators as they learn to improve their skills? So the advice I would give young authors is just to read. Read, read, read. It's the most important thing you can do to improve your skills, and probably the most important thing you can do at all. And for illustrators, I would say try all the different styles of art, because there's so many different mediums and techniques that you won't know which one you enjoy doing the most until you give it a try. And the second piece of advice would be to share your work with your friends, your family, your teachers, anyone who'll look at it, because that's really one of the best ways to improve your work in general, but also to improve your skills. To hear that constructive criticism, what people thought worked and what didn't work, so you can kind of refine your skills. And the last piece of advice would be to never give up. Even if something you write or you publish doesn't get, if something you write or draw doesn't get published now, just keep improving your skills, keep trying, stick with it, and eventually, I promise, your dreams will come true. So that's it. I just want to give another big thank you to the Texas Librarian Association and to all of you for your wonderful questions. Bye.
Wow, I didn't know you could sprout feathers. That's really cool. But I do think that's interesting to hear how he brought his story to life from not only his life, but the inspiration from his family and his stories that he's had throughout generations. I love watching these bicycles move. Oh my goodness, Orange sailed right through the pack. It's amazing to watch them go. We've got 9 minutes left, and it is still just they are going. And Red, once again, whoever that red bicycle is, that color just seems to keep pedaling and pedaling right along. And it is so cool to watch them go. And you never know who's who. So the mystery it's hanging on the edge of your seat the entire time. What's so cool about watching these bicycles is that we seem to think we can just guess who it is. We saw from our leaderboard that we had 2 teams that were in the lead, and we thought, oh, maybe it's that team. We never know until our scores are revealed. I see some teams are coming back now, and that's exciting to see. Here they go. Look at them move. I see them go. Teal and indigo. We got magenta, blue, and lime. No team, no team is the same in these bicycles with the colors. Just so you know, my friends that are watching on YouTube right now, because we're streaming, no team is the same color. So don't say, hey, that's got to be Swiss Point. No, you never know. The mystery is just going to get you until the end. You'll never know. You'll just never know.
Exactly.
That's what's so great.
Yeah, it's a mystery like a book.
Yes.
Even Miss Z, right? So the book and the bikes are
Yeah.
both mysteries.
Yes.
Right? Of the same genre. Absolutely. Looks like a couple of our teams have come back already. These guys are really, really busy winning. And we really appreciate it. All of our teams are winners. And we want to say how much we appreciate the fact that you all read and were prepared for competition. That's pretty exciting. We're grateful for you. We are sure that you are athletes in many other ways, whether it's in the classroom or on the field or on the court, whatever else it is that you do, we know that you're great at it because you're readers, because readers are great at everything, especially reading.
We have another author that we can listen to about their journey in life as well. Let's take some time to meet this great author. This is actually a recording of our author that we're going to listen to from The Bridge Home.
Hi, I'm Padma Venkatraman, the author of The Bridge Home. The Bridge Home is written in a very unusual form. It's written in direct address. It is sort of second person and sort of first person too. In The Bridge Home, you meet a young girl called Viji, and she is writing to her sister. And you have no idea why Viji and her sister Ruku are separated. And as Viji begins to speak to her sister and recollect what has happened to them, you slowly come to understand why the two are now apart. As Viji begins to tell her story, you understand that she and her sister run away from home because of an untenable domestic abuse situation. I believe that all domestic abuse situations are untenable, frankly, and I am a survivor of violence in my own family. As the two girls run away, they find themselves soon hungry and homeless on the streets of an Indian city. I myself grew up in Chennai, a city in India, and when they're there, luckily for them, the first 3 people, if you will, that they find, one of them is a dog person, and they adopt a little dog, and then they find 2 of the best kind of young men, 2 young boys who support them and who make a living by salvaging things that they sell from trash heaps. And as the 5 of them, the 4 children and the dog, bond together and become a family, they find home and shelter on a ruined bridge. But soon they're made to leave that bridge by adults who want to enslave them. So adults who want to enslave them drive them off the bridge, and they need to then figure out what they're going to do with their lives and whether there's anyone they can turn to trust. The book is essentially about friendship and family and finding home in unlikely places and unlikely situations, but it's also about laughter and hope, because the book is based on friends I had. My mother was a single mother, and she worked very hard to put food on the table for me and a roof over my head and to make sure that I had a brilliant education. But over and above all of that, she also volunteered to spend time at homeless shelters and schools for children who had even less than we did. And there I grew to respect and befriend children like a girl called Indira, who actually ended up, much as the children in the Bridge Home do, living in a graveyard because she had to run away from human beings who were alive that wanted to enslave her. And the book is about these horrific things, about hunger, about homelessness, about poverty, but most of all, it's about the bravery, the courage that people like those whom I knew growing up had, that even in these desperate and difficult and horrific situations, they could find moments of laughter, moments of beauty, moments of hope.
Wow, it looks like we have a couple of people still left in those leaderboards with 2 minutes left. That was great. I think one of our librarians actually had that author come and speak at their school for Literacy Week. That was very inspirational. Look at those bicycles. So once again, I want to remind you that just because your bicycle was one color in one round doesn't mean it's going to be the same color in another round, as we said before. It's very exciting to see these bicycles and where they are in each round. As I said, we never know who is going to be what bicycle.
Yeah, I think that adds to the mystery of this and who is going to get what color each round. You could get the same color 2 rounds in a row and then have a different one for the 3rd round. It's all based on that luck of the draw when you sign in.
We have 1 minute and 51 seconds left on the clock.
All right, how many teams? Do we have quite a few teams back at this time? Let's see if we can, I know that we are, we have a couple of teams that we still want to hear from. I think that we did not hear from, let's see, Miss Barnard. Can you give us some insight into what your team's favorite book
they're all
was
back
this
now.
year? Looks
Yeah,
like,
they're very excited right now, and they all really agreed that Float was their favorite.
Float, really? That's interesting. That's one that hasn't come up before. That's exciting. Can they tell us why they chose that?
Why did we choose that, guys? They liked the adventure. They thought it was funny.
Hank is really funny.
Who was funny?
Hank.
Hank was really funny.
Oh, Hank. Hank is, you know, I know a Hank and he's really funny. So I'm sure Hank was funny in that story also. That's pretty exciting. Let's see, who else haven't we heard from? What about Miss Brown? Did we hear from you?
No, you did not. So our team wanted to share their favorite books. Go ahead.
Yes.
Our favorite books are Float and Spark.
Float and Spark. So here's a question. Those are 2 books. Were they very similar or very different? And why did you choose those?
Different. They were pretty different. And Float really, it was just like, because they were our age and everything, it was really like Float was relatable.
Mm-hmm. So can you hear them? Float was
Yes,
relatable.
it was relatable. The characters were their age, so that speaks to being able to see yourself in a book. You can enjoy it a lot more, right? Absolutely. And then what about Spark?
Go good. Spark was just really fun to read because of all the fantasy in it, and it was really easy to imagine and really fun to get through.
Ah.
We got kicked off of the internet after the 2nd round, and we had a challenge, but I think y'all had already asked if there was a question challenge by the time we got back on.
Okay.
So
well, we can
did.
certainly we can certainly still review that challenge. So why don't we start with that one? I think all of our teams are back, and that would be my next question, but let's hold off on round 3 challenges. Let's go back to round 2.
Okay.
And so you did have a challenge. Can you tell us the number of the quote that you are challenging?
It's quote number 3.
Quote number 3. Ms. Sikoski, can you pull quote 3? Tell us the quote, and we are actually going to pull the novel, which we have right in front of us. We are going to turn to that page and make sure that we can find that quote in the book. Okay, so question 3 from round 2. The quote was, I forgot my copy. I'm sorry. Do we have a copy of the quote? 3 from round 2. Dr. Lawson. Yep. Dr. Lawson's going to read that quote.
Okay, question 3 from round 2 is any light that shines on her has the chance to spill over on us.
And what was the answer in Socrative?
The answer in Socrative is City Spies.
City Spies, and what page?
158.
Okay, and so Ms. Sikorsky has City Spies in her hand. If she'll turn on her camera, you can see that she is actually turning to that page in the book. And she has to get prepared. She had to get up and get the book, so she's got to put her headphones on so you can hear her. And she's going to turn to that page and make sure that she can find that quote for this challenge question in the book.
All right, here we go. I have the book right here. You can't see because my background.
Page 158, correct, Dr. Lawson?
Yes, on page 158. It reads, any light that shines on her has the chance to spin over on us.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome. You cannot see it, but I will try and zoom it in.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ms. Sikorsky. We found that quote. It is correct, so thank you so much. We're going to move forward with any challenges from round 3. Are there any challenges from round 3? Please give us a reaction, raise your hand, and we can call on you if there are any challenges from round 3. Okay. No challenges? All righty. Well, again, I'd like to say welcome back. And before we go on, I believe we have at least one team that we did not hear from. Let's see. Ms. Rogers, did we hear from your team? I want to make sure that we heard. I did not keep a list. Did you guys tell us your favorite book from this year?
They did not. They're ready to tell you their favorite.
All right.
Float. They're agreeing with Sebastian Middle.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they agree with Sebastian that Float was their favorite book. Can they give us a great reason why they chose that title?
Mr. Stink with a funny character. That's it.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like it was a great, funny book. I love books that make me laugh. Books that make me laugh make me happy. So that's fantastic. And I don't want to miss anyone. Ms. Hudson, did we call on your team? I believe you were first, but I just want to make sure.
You did. We voted for Coyote Sunrise. I'm ready for that to be made into a movie. It was awesome.
Oh, wow. A movie. So lots of our great books get made into movies, right? I remember Wonder was on our list and it became a movie. So that was pretty awesome. So like I said, our media specialists across the state are great at choosing fantastic books for us to read and some of them to eventually watch. I'm going to give you one more chance. If I did not call on you, please unmute yourself and tell us your favorite book. I believe that I chose everyone, but I certainly don't want to skip anyone because guess what, guys? We have a winner. Yep, but before we go on to our winner and our and crowning our champion for this year, we have one last video that we'd like to show you. Dr. Lawson, take it away.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Author Fan Face Off. We've got one great author, one great fan. get them together to talk about one great book by the author, and we find out who knows more. I'm Steve Shankin, and of course, you know, the co-host of the show is the leaping librarian, Stacy Ratner.
Hello.
And our guest today, the great Dan Gemeinhart, coming to us from Washington, right? Washington State?
Washington State. Yep,
Great.
excited to be here.
We're going to talk about Coyote Sunrise today. And what that book is, so at 2019, so is it fairly fresh in your mind?
Sure.
I mean, that must mean, you know, the way books work, that must mean you finished it at least a year before that. And
right.
And
Yep,
really
so-
the ideas for it would have come years before that.
Yep, I think I finished it in December 2017. So it's been a little while.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Great. Well, you got a good challenger. I know she's read it more recently than that. And Stacy will do the intros there.
Awesome.
So excited to introduce Allie. She's a fifth grader from New York, and she read the book. Her teacher read the book aloud to her class last year when she was in fourth grade. She loved it so much, she's read it at least a couple more times since then. So Allie loves to cook and bake, and really into the creative cooking process of just a little something here and there and see what comes of that. So we're really excited to have Allie with us today. So let's get started, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to ask the first question, and that first question goes to Allie. When Coyote gets a kitten, she names him after the main character of her favorite book. What is the book?
The one and only Ivan.
All right, awesome. And then Dan, in the opening scene, Coyote buys a boy a slushie. Against her advice, he picks this flavor.
Watermelon. Big mistake.
You feel strongly about that, or she does, rather.
Yes, we both do.
Yeah, I would have thought it would be delicious, but no, I was wrong. All right, Allie, what do Coyote and Rodeo name their bus?
Jaeger.
Yeah, and there's a description of how that name comes to be. This isn't really part of the question, but do you remember that part?
Voyager Day School.
Yeah, okay. Now I know what kind of expert I'm dealing with. I just wanted to. Yeah. It used to be that, and he scraped off some of the words.
That's right. Way to go, man.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's really impressive. All right, Dan. Coyote tells Rodeo she has a, quote, a dead dream, which we can go into what that means, but that's not the question here. She needs to get to Montana so she can get this particular food item.
It is a pork chop sandwich from Pork Chop John's in Butte, Montana.
Okay, so now we have two great experts here. I can see that.
That's a real place and a real sandwich, and it's delicious, by the way.
So it would be worth driving thousands of miles to go try?
It'd be worth pulling off the highway.
Okay. All right, Allie, why does Coyote need to get back to her old neighborhood in Washington State?
Because they're tearing down the park where her and her sisters and her mom buried a memory box.
Right. And so we don't like to give too much away about the book, but that's basically the journey. The gist of the book is that they're taking this journey to get back to that park before they tear it down. Great job. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Lester really wants to get to this city.
Oh no, it's happening because I changed it like 6 times in the final draft. Boise, Idaho is the right answer.
Okay.
Because it's a journey story, and so I was always playing with the map and playing with the timeline to make sure that where they were going made sense and what would they see along the way and would they get there too soon. And so I was constantly, all the little places they stop, I was changing those all the time as I kind of figured out the time and how the story should work. But I'm right? It's Boise, Idaho?
Yes,
Nice.
yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. We've done a couple of kind of road trip type stories, and we always ask the author. We had Dan Gutman in the Genius Files, who was going west coast to east. We did Nick Stone, Clean Getaway, across the South. did she, and had made the trip, to see these places. It seems like that would have been a really
Wow, exciting. Look at that fan face-off, the author fan face-off. Maybe that could have been you battling out questions from the book, just like you did here today. Again, I can't say enough about our teams, our team sponsors, and our caretakers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now it is time to reveal the scores for round 3. Dr. Lawson?
And here are our scores from round 3. Never fear, we have tallied them and we will announce the winner momentarily. Miss Dixon, back to you.
All righty. So after seeing those scores for round 3, we do have a winner. And the winner for the St. Johns County School District Battle of the Books 2021 is Patriot Oaks Academy. They have dethroned the champions and they are our brand new champions. Congratulations, Patriot Oaks Academy. You are our winner. Congratulations. Woo! Hey, Dr. Lawson, can we get that team in view? Patriot Oaks, can you guys get right there in front of the camera? Let us see you so that we can congratulate you for a job well done. A victory.
Make sure you unmute yourself there,
and
Patriot
make sure
Oaks.
you unmute yourself so we can hear you. Absolutely.
Hi. Oh, we're excited. Hello. I can't believe we did it.
Oh, I can believe you did it. I can absolutely believe you did it. You look great and you did great. So congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you again, students, media specialists, and sponsors. You are all rock stars. Do you guys have a speech? Do you have a winner's speech?
No. Good job. Yeah, good job, all the other teams.
Fantastic. Now we are going to, because we know that this is important to all of our teams, and all of our teams did such a great job, we are going to share the final tally for the final scores on your screen. Okay. All righty. The final score for Patriot Oaks Academy was 44 total points, an almost perfect score. Coming in at 43 points each, Landrum Middle School and Switzerland Point Middle School, only 1 point behind the winner. At 42 points, Passetti Bay Middle School and Valley Ridge Academy. Standing alone at 40 points, Freedom Crossing Academy. PVA, last year's champions, Palm Valley Academy came in at 39 points. And then tied at 38 points, Sebastian Middle School, Murray Middle School, and Liberty Pines Academy. And then with 34 points, our Gamble Rogers Middle School Stingrays. Give yourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause. Let's hear it, guys. Unmute and say, wow, congratulations to all of you. Let's hear it from all of our teams. And we want to say thank you, congratulations to each and every one of you. You are amazing. Also to our guests in our audience who are joining us live, we want to say thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful words of encouragement, your comments, and for your support. We hope you've enjoyed this year's virtual battle. Next year promises to be just as exciting. We'd like to give you a sneak peek of when next year's titles will be released. Dr. Lawson?
The new titles are going to be released soon, about 4 weeks.
Woohoo! April 30th is right around the corner. It's only a little bit over a month away. Thank you so much to Ms. Badger, our media specialist, for providing that video as president of the Florida Association for Media and Education, FAME. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Thanks again to our leadership. So Superintendent Forson, our school board members, and all the folks at 40 Orange Street. We are so grateful that we have each of you, and we hope that you've enjoyed this year's battle. Until next year, great reading, guys. See you later. Bye.